All right, first up for the 8 essentials of healing and performance, we have belief and or belief in something greater than self. Now, your religious and spiritual beliefs is something very individualized and unique to you, so I won't go into specifics there other than having a belief in something greater than self. Whatever that means to you. It could be religious, it could be spiritual, it could be nature, whatever. For me, it's this force, this natural power inside. I call it our innate intelligence. You can call it nature. You can minimize it to the central nervous system. But it's this natural force that vitalizes you. That's responsible for pumping your heart, initiating communication vectors from your body to your brain back down to the body. That's connecting every neuron, which has an infinite amount of possibilities, controlling an infinite amount of processes occurring inside of you, inside every single one of your cells, at every single second of every single moment in time, in order to ensure your survival, to heal, regenerate, adapt, and survive. That is our wiring. That is our design. The body only knows to perpetuate life of the body, of the species. So everything that the body does, whether you feel it or not, whether it makes sense to you or it doesn't, whether it's comfortable or uncomfortable, it's coming from this state of unconditional love. The body, this force inside of you, is going to do anything and everything that it can to keep you here thriving. Take a cut on your skin, for example. Your body will instantly begin healing that insult, and it doesn't need your permission. It doesn't need you to tell it how or when. It's an instantaneous response, as healing is a default. And that same response that the body takes to heal that cut on your skin is the exact same healing response and mechanism that occurs in every single one of your cells, every single tissue, every single system in your body. And then keep in mind, the healing response will always be greater than that of the initial trauma. And this isn't confined to just physical injury. This principle is a truth for every insult to your system, whether that is something physical, psychological, chemical, or emotional. Take that principle and that understanding and apply it to life. Now those uncomfortable times, those extremely difficult situations, those rock bottom moments can and should be viewed as an opportunity. Because if you do it right, if you approach injury and trauma the correct way in which we were designed, your healing response will be greater than that insult. You will level up body-wide to a greater version of self than you were prior to that experience. It's pretty awesome. And to think if we, man, the human, was in charge of that responsibility, of that power, we would mess it up so quick, it would be embarrassing. So, tracing back as I kind of went on a rant, believing in something greater than self, again, whatever that means to you, I just shared mine. It brings a level of humility. And when you live in a state of humility, you can then express gratitude at a constant. And when you express a constant state of gratitude, you are then open to receive, which is typically going to be the thing you desire most in life. And that's a pretty amazing thing to try and embody and tap into. Leaving it there, something to think about, something to explore for yourself. Let's focus now on where your belief plays a role in your healing and performance. And essentially, for any one thing to come to fruition, and this isn't confined to just the topic of health, but for anything in life, your belief is the ultimate factor or variable in making that thing work. Do you expect to fail? Probably going to fail. Do you believe that this diagnosis or label is for life? Guess what? You're going to make it for life. The body will 100% meet your expectations, your beliefs, whether they are a placebo or nocebo situation. That is because the mind, your expectations, your stories, your beliefs have a greater impact on your overall health expression than the current set of symptoms your body is experiencing. It's not that your current symptomatic expression is this incurable situation. It's the fact that that label or diagnosis implants a near incurable mindset and belief within the individual. I see it all the time. People invest so much behind the label that they've been given that they then identify with it, yet expect to have a different outcome. But understand, you cannot expect to heal in the environment which caused your injury and led to your given label or diagnosis. And part of that environment is this emotional and psychological aspect to the trauma, where people hold on to this victim's mentality, and it will absolutely handicap them in their potential to heal, in their healing journey and approach. That label, that diagnosis, carrying a story which is putting you in a box, limiting, putting a cap on your potential, on your ability to heal, becomes a part of the individual, and they will then manifest it through belief. And once that happens, it becomes more difficult to remove the train of thought, the expectation, the story, the belief behind a label, behind a diagnosis, than it is to change one's actual health expression, one's physiology. So, the very first thing you need to take into account in your healing and performance is your belief. Do you believe that you can heal? Do you believe that this approach is right for you and is in alignment with your truth? Because the results that you want and expect for yourself come from taking deliberate, consistent, intentional action, active inputs towards the direction of what you believe is true for you. So, I challenge you to explore what this means. And find your belief and try to implement this within your healing and performance, because it will make a substantial difference. Leaving you with that, Trevor Funk, The Wellness by Design. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.